Happy Saturday, folks, and welcome back to Injection of Inspiration, where every single Saturday I, Graham G.S. Matthews, attempt to inject you with a daily dose of motivational advice, helpful tips, and all that other great positive shit. Again, another instance where I came across a quote. I have no idea where it's from, but I thought it was awesome and I wanted to use it for today's episode. Most people would rather be certain they're miserable than risk being happy. Once again, most people would rather be certain they're miserable than risk being happy. Of course, because it's the easy fucking thing to do, to feel sorry for yourself, to be down in the dumps, be miserable. Being depressed is a different thing. I think being miserable and being depressed are two very, very different things. So let's get that out of the way right off the bat. You can be clinically depressed. You can have something, in terms of like chemicals in your brain that kind of force you to be depressed. That's a very different story. Being miserable, there's a lot more people out there like that than there are people that are depressed. People that are miserable, it's because of their own doing. And sometimes it could be because of stuff that's happened and they're merely reacting to it that way. You gotta move on and get over yourself and stop letting it affect other people. To be miserable yourself is one thing. To spread your misery to other people is fucking... It's contagious. It absolutely is. Positivity is every bit as contagious as negativity. Negativity can spread in an instant. How many times have you been having like a good day, and then someone comes up to you and is just a total dick to you, and that's the only thing you think about all day? You can't first of all, let that kind of stuff bother you or get to you. Think about all the other good stuff that's happened to you today or this week or whatever, as opposed to that one bad instance. Because as I've said before, 99 times out of 100, the reason that person was being a dick to you or they were just miserable is just because they're a fucking asshole, is largely not because of something that you did. It's a reflection of their own misery or of their own unhappiness and stuff like that. It has absolutely nothing to do with you, so don't take it personally. Especially when you're at work or out in public, people are just not treating you with the respect that you think you deserve or you think would be nice, or the respect that you're giving them. You can't take it personally. But going back to what I was originally saying, to be miserable is so fucking easy. And I love this quote. One of my friends that I used to do a radio show with many, many years ago, he had this on like his profile. And I kind of stole it, even though it wasn't like his quote. But it was one of his favorite quotes, and it soon became one of my favorite quotes as well. From a writer named Cynthia Nelms, and I know for a fact I must have used this on here on the show, at least at one point or another in the past year and a half. It doesn't matter, or nobody cares if you're miserable. That's what the quote is. Nobody cares if you're miserable, so you might as well be happy. And that is every bit as applicable as this quote as well. No one gives a shit. No one fucking cares if you're miserable. If you want people to feel bad for you, and you want that sympathy, get the fuck over yourself. You can feel bad for yourself for like a minute, but then it's time to move on. Being happy and wanting to be happy, it's a real challenge. Being happy, or the first step to achieving happiness, there's a lot of different ways you can achieve happiness, which I talked about before. Check out like one of my first few installments of Injection of Inspiration for my thoughts on how you can achieve happiness and how I did so and stuff like that. But the first step, in my opinion, which is undeniable in achieving happiness, is wanting to achieve happiness, which sounds like, oh, that's so logical. Why would you even say that? Sounds like such an obvious thing. Well, it's really not. There's a lot of people who think that, oh, I need to be happy. I'm so fucking miserable. Well, you need to want to be happy. There's so many people out there who want to be miserable and who strive to be miserable because they want people to feel bad for them. And it's such an easy thing to do, to be miserable. And think about all the things that have gone wrong in your past and all the things that are going wrong right now and all the things you think are going to go wrong in the future, which has never fucking made any sense to me ever, to worry about something that hasn't even happened yet. Like, worry about what's happening right now. I could see you getting upset about something like someone, you just broke up with someone a couple seconds, like literally right now, or something had happened or whatever. Or you're having a bad day and it's happening like at the moment, not something that happened a week ago. It already fucking happened. Nothing you can do to change it unless you have a fucking DeLorean, so move the hell on. With stuff that hasn't even happened yet, it's like, dude, focus on what's going on right now before you can focus on like the future. Always look forward to the future, and I'll talk about that probably in my next episode and why you should do that and why it's a bit different than other things I've talked about here on the show before. But it's like, focus on what's going on right now. And above all else, look at the positives. And don't be fucking miserable. And no, it's easy. It's an easy thing to do. And it's not the greatest. It's not the greatest comparison, but like eating fast food. First of all, that stuff tastes good. It tastes good. Misery does not taste good. Misery tastes fucking miserable, but people like to do it anyway. Fast food, though, a lot of people get it not only because it tastes good, but because it's easy. It's cheap. It's accessible. It's so easy. But to achieve a healthy, happy lifestyle, whatever, to eat better, yeah, it's tough. It's difficult. But whoever said it wasn't going to be tough? I mean, life is tough. No one's ever going to tell you otherwise. Life is fucking tough. They're going to throw swerve balls your way. Doesn't matter whether it's a higher power or God or if it's fucking everything happens for a reason. Doesn't matter what you believe. Shit is going to happen. If it's not easy, then that means it's probably worth it. If everything was easy, then everyone would fucking do it. You need to go out of your way to find happiness. Risk being happy. It's like, holy shit, what if I took a risk for a change? You know? It's happened with me before multiple times. It's like, what does this person think of me? Like someone I used to, like many, many years ago, used to have like an interest in. Am I going to sit here and be miserable thinking they're not interested in me? Or am I going to go out and at least find out for a fact that there's nothing there? And yeah, I was miserable for a few days, but then I moved the fuck on a couple days after that. It's like, yeah, I feel really bad for myself right now, and it sucks. They don't feel the same way. But it's time to move the fuck on. It's happened. There's nothing I can do to change that. You got to find happiness in other things at that point. So that's my 2 cents to you. Once again, the quote, which I think is great. Most people would rather be certain they're miserable than risk being happy. Think about it. That is today's injection of inspiration. I'll be back next Saturday with another all-new episode. Till then, guys, have an awesome rest of your weekend. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.